In November 1776, British General Howe ordered an all-out assault by his mostly Hessian army of 8,000 men on the fort that stood nearby. It was held then by Colonel Robert Magaw, who with only 3,000 soldiers stood little chance of a successful defense. Many died in the advance, but many more were taken prisoner and marched through the streets of Manhattan to be pelted with garbage by the hissing and jeering loyalist mobs. Most of those prisoners wound up on the infamous British warships turned floating prison camps that anchored on the East River. There they were starved of food and fresh air and froze to death in the winter. Perhaps this land has been cursed, a legacy of neglect, inherited suffering. The earth suffocated beneath the weight of our modern indifference. A betrayed land malnourished with day-drunk piss and broken glass. To the memory of that glorious moment, this is the aging, the last creeping emotion of a dream before it's fully forgotten. The fond recollection of a youthful object before it's stolen by time. It all winds up here. It all stays here as evidence to who we were, to what we valued, to what we'd hoped. You must venture through these cages, through all this filth, into these pits, in the darkest shadows, never glanced by loving eyes, never blessed by daylight. Here hide the frowns of a million squandered potentials. New York was a lost cause during the American Revolution. The British practically took it with one hand tied behind their back. The majority of New Yorkers were profit-motivated, and revolution would only destabilize land values and throw into disarray any hopes merchants had of maintaining loyalty to their valued customers. Upon the success of the revolution, the loyalists of New York fled to Britain, and their lands were seized and sold off for pennies on the dollar to prospectors eager to make a buck in this new republic. In 1910, the Daughters of the American Revolution sought to honor that ill-fated attempt to defy the British with this simple stone monument. But today it's stranded away from our attention by the bridge and all the roadways that serve it. The bridge stands in honor of the men who brooded in defiance, to their general who held his last flicker of hope in the face of peril. But yet it casts a heavy shadow over the sacred space, and well-meaning commuters flutter overhead as bits of their broken cars tumble down as shrapnel in the wind. They plow back and forth from job to job, never noticing the history beneath, never contemplating how close they were to never even being.
Nissan. Drive fast.
We linger in unspoken reverence to these fallen objects, these thwarted lives, the seldom visitors to the cramped cross space behind the hidden door, within the darkened room. Inside is the heart of the city. It is battered, but beating.